my mother is being racist toward her adopted granddaughter. Story: I am 33, am marrying the love of my life, F25. We have a 10-year-old daughter. She was 5 when I met my fiancé. The bio dad is not in the picture. We did not start dating until my fiancé finished college 3 years ago. She worked her ass off as a single mom to get her high school diploma and then her teaching degree after her parents kicked her out when she got pregnant. She did eventually reconcile, and they helped her with childcare while she finished school. We met when she was a student teacher at the school where I work. For the last 2 years, her daughter has been my daughter. I am adopting her as part of our wedding because I am her dad. Both my fiancé and myself are Caucasian. My daughter is mixed race. When we were discussing both our parents, I overheard my mother saying she can't wait to have a real grandchild. I immediately asked what she meant by that. She said that she just means it's obvious that my daughter isn't biologically mine. She says that she wants a child that is obviously her grandchild to show off. I would never in a million years have guessed those words would come out of my mother. I told her she wasn't welcome at my wedding and not to worry about being seen with my daughter because she would never be seeing any of my kids. She's been blowing up my social media, claiming that it's my fault for not understanding how she feels. It takes everything I have not to block her because her and my dad share accounts. I want to just call her out as a racist by plush. My family thinks I should give her another chance. I don't want her and her attitude near my family. My fiancé says it's my call, but I know she is hurt by what my mother said. Am I the a-hole? It's my mom. I screwed up the title. Edit. After reading so many responses, I re-examined the conversation with my mom. I still do not know 100% if it is racism. By it still sounds like she thinks my daughter is less than. I won't have that. I'm seeing mom today. We will talk. Response 1. NTA. But you almost gave me a heart attack with, we have a 10-year-old daughter. I thought you got a 15-year-old girl pregnant when you were 23. I, am 33, am marrying the love of my life. We have a 10-year-old daughter. She was 5 when I met my fiancé. Reply 2. When we were discussing both our parents, I overheard my mother saying she can't wait to have a real grandchild. I immediately asked what she meant by that. She said that she just means it's obvious that my daughter isn't biologically mine. She says that she wants a child that is obviously her grandchild to show off. Edited to add, not the a-hole. Reply 3. But his fiancé was only 15 when she had her daughter and kicked out of her home, still a minor with a baby and no home. Reply 4, which is why I messed up the title. I am on good terms with my future in-laws, but I still hate what they did. It was in my head. Reply 5, right? I almost had a stroke when I read that first line, and a deep sigh of relief when I read the rest of it, laugh out loud. Response 2, NTA, not all racists wear white sheets and burn crosses. Your mother would consistently treat your daughter as less than for the rest of the old bat's miserable life. When you have cancer, you shrink it small enough to excise it. This is precisely what you are doing to what will definitely be a cancer to your child moving forward. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Reply 1. Our mother would consistently treat your daughter as less than. I can already tell that there'd be fewer/cheaper birthday presents and such, and less attention/importance paid to the adopted daughter. That carp will get picked up on real quick by the child, not the a-hole. Reply 2. You are right on the money. When I was 5 and my baby sister was 1, I straight up refused to open any Christmas presents one year because my baby sister only got a fifth of the presents I did from my paternal grandmother. She hated her because she hated my mom, and I was not having it. And I never had a relationship with her growing up because of her blatant favoritism. Kids notice this nonsense fast, and Dad is my new hero for how he has protected his daughter, not the a-hole. Reply 3. Dude, praise on you for seeing it so young. Nobody would have blamed you for just seeing presents and not being mature enough to understand. That's honestly kind of amazing. Reply 4. My mother-in-law adored my son and was the very best grandma to him. Then when my daughter was born, she wanted absolutely nothing to do with her. At first, I thought it was that she was a newborn, even though she took my son as a newborn. But by the time she was 3, she was noticing and asked me why Grandma didn't like her. It was heartbreaking. She was cut out of all of our lives when she admitted that she just doesn't like girls. Whether it is racism or misogyny or whatever BS these people hold in their hearts, it should not be anywhere near children. Reply 5. Yep. Future farming some real golden child/scapegoat dynamics before a second child even enters a picture. Response 3. NTA. And as a white girl who was adopted by a man of color who married my mom, good for you. You are doing what my dad did. I was his. Period. End of discussion. You have a good heart, and I'm sorry your mother needs to evolve so much. Your family of origin doesn't have a say in this, but your family now, your wife and daughter, take precedence. I'd be waiting for a long letter of apology and how your mother realizes that what she said was not only hurtful, but incredibly racist and frankly, very shallow. Wanting a baby to show off, that's icky. You want to love on the children you have around you now, not a someday baby. I understand your disgust. Thank you for not making this your wife's problem. Thank you for having your daughter and new bride's back. You're a good dad. Reply 1. My sister is actually my half-sister, and my dad adopted her. She's mixed race, and it's obvious she's not biologically his, but he always said he had 2 daughters, and he does. Reply 2. That's how it should be. Love is what makes families. My sib adopted my 2 kids from afar. They are beautiful young black women now, and they are ours. Reply 3. My 2 older brothers are technically my half-brothers. I didn't have any clue about that until I was about 11 because their bio-dad/my mom's first husband hadn't even tried to be part of their lives until then. Not only did my dad treat them as his sons, but dad's whole family treated them as his sons. Reply 4. Yup, my brother, 13 years older than me, is actually my half-brother, my dad's son from previous marriage. My mom adopted him when she married my dad. He has always been my brother, and my mom and her whole family treated him as if he were her bio son. Reply 5. My dad is like this. We're all Caucasian, but I was born 2 years before he had a relationship with my mom. Even though they're no longer married and haven't been for over 20 years, he's got 2 sons and 2 daughters. Response 4. NTA. These comments trying to justify your mom's bullcart behavior are effing wild. It literally does not matter if mom has never uttered another racist phrase in front of OP in his entire life. She said what she said. And there's really only one way to take what she said. His mom has made clear that she is going to value OP's biological child/Ren over his oldest daughter. She wants to show off a grandchild, and clearly to her, OP's daughter, her soon-to-be legal grandchild, isn't good enough. Good on you for seeing this for what it is and stopping that behavior before it gets a chance to really start. That your mom has doubled down on this and blamed you for not being more understanding is all the more proof that you're doing the right thing. In her mind, she's totally justified in wanting a real grandchild, and you're the big meanie because you won't let her be racist or play favorites with any of your current or future children. Unless and until she realizes how truly hateful and hurtful what she said was and is, willing to sit down for a sincerely apologetic conversation, I'd hold firm for sure. Your daughter deserves better than that in her life. Reply 1. Agreed. She wants a grandchild that is obviously her grandchild, meaning looks like her. Race is definitely playing a significant part in this. Reply 2. And that is so weird. I am a grandma, and I say the more kiddos the better. New grandkids from blended families? The new grandkids look different? Don't care because kids are awesome and give the best hugs. OP's mom is missing the love boat. She is dumb. Response 5. Op, I need you to look me in my internet eyes and listen very closely and take this to heart. You are not the a-hole. Not even a little. You are as far from the opposite of TA as one can get. The fact that your mom isn't even sorry about what she said speaks volumes about how you did the right thing. As someone whose stepdad is my real dad in my eyes, and his and my family's eyes, anyone who won't accept that isn't welcome in our lives, as they clearly aren't actually family. Family isn't blood. Family is the people who love us and are there for us through the darkest times. Family is the people who will put themselves in front of us to protect us. Family is who you chose. We both know this, as we're perfect examples of how blood doesn't mean carp in different ways. You are her dad, and if your mom won't accept that, then she doesn't get to be a grandma. Also, you're better than me because I straight up have gone on a no bio kids strike because of how weird and obsessive some of my extended family is about it. Response 6. Let's try and take race out of the situation here. I know, horrible words, but give me just a second. Your mom is still the AH here. Outside of race, you are forming a family where you decide the dynamics. Not all families are the type of families where step-parents act like bio-parents. Most step-parents don't adopt their step-kids, but some do. You have decided that she is your daughter. You're not using step, you're adopting her. She's your daughter. Even if this wasn't about race, which I do doubt, your mom is aware of the kind of family you've decided to have. She knows that you view your daughter as fully your daughter, who will be no different than any biological children that you may have. You decided that for your family. That is a great decision. Not everybody gets to do stuff like that. Your mom will disrupt that, even if it really isn't about race. She's still going to disrupt it. She's allowed to feel how she's going to feel, fine, but she's already demonstrated she'll view them differently out loud, not the a-hole. Reply 1. This is true, sure, but it's weird to me how much people have to go through so many contortions to take race out of the situation. Why is this necessary? This is OP's mom. She said that she just means it's obvious that my daughter isn't biologically mine. She says that she wants a child that is obviously her grandchild to show off. I mean, come on. This is gross racist behavior. The end. She doesn't have to profess hating the kid B/C of her race for this to be the case. People in this thread doing the same tired cartwheels about, I'm not going to go so far as to say she's racist, need to grow up and call a thing what it is. Too much eggshell walking, and I prefer to give the benefit of the doubt. Every time racists are racist is one reason we're never getting past this. Reply 2. I literally said that I doubted it wasn't about race. The point I made was not that she wasn't racist. I made my doubt on her not being racist clear. It's got its own sentence. The point is that even if she isn't, she still sucks. So OP should not listen to people who are like, well, maybe she wasn't in any way. Because even if this wasn't racist, it's still incredibly unacceptable. Why waste time going back and forth with this woman over whether or it was racist or not, when instead, OP could just begin protecting his daughter from her? Not every point being made has to be the same. People are trying to cover this from every angle, so he sees he's not an AH for protecting his kid. I said what I said because other commenters were claiming that her not having been racist in the past makes it less likely that this is about her being racist. Hours before you commented. And I am saying even if that were true, which it's not, she still sucks. And I'm not wrong. There can be a list of cons, not just one. Response 7. NTA. Your daughter is her real granddaughter. It doesn't matter that she's adopted. I will never understand people that don't get that. Response 8. NTA, and you will still not be the AH when you call her out on social media, and you absolutely should. Totally fine if you burn the relationship to the ground. Why would she get another chance? She hasn't apologized, she's only doubled down. So nope. She doesn't think your kid is a real kid, then she doesn't get to be around her or you. Her choice. Response 9. NTA, your mom needs a reality check. Sounds like she's getting one. Protect your little girl and enjoy your day. It's yours, not hers. Reconsider down the line maybe, but that's between you and your family. Congrats on the wedding, OP. Response 10. Always wish my mom had found a dad to love and adopt me. Way to go protecting your daughter from what would become obvious favoritism if / when you choose to have another child. Response 11. NTA. You didn't misunderstand anything. You see this child as your child since she is a package deal with her mother. Your own mother doesn't accept her as her grandchild. You are 100% correct to draw that line in the sand, because if she continues to treat your daughter as less than, she's going to start thinking she's no good enough. Response 12. NTA, she will treat you daughter poorly and your poor kid will feel unloved and excluded. Not even sure it's a race thing. just a non-biological thing, but still carpty of her. Response 13, AITA. It's understandable if she hopes to have a grandchild that she gets to know from infancy, but she needs to know that some things are just unacceptable to say. Before you let her into your daughter's life, she'd need to prove that she will treat your daughter as a real grandchild and won't show any favoritism. But I don't know how she could start to accomplish that if it was my child she said that about. Response 14. I don't necessarily think your mom is racist. I think she definitely just wants a biological grandchild. Still, not the a-hole. Edit, I'm sticking with not the a-hole, but I'm no longer sure of grandma's intent. Saying the child doesn't look like you points out race. Reply 1. Saying a child doesn't look like you isn't always pointing out race. I know several people who are same race, and the child doesn't look like one of the parents. It could be because the child looks more like the other parent. Could mean one isn't the parent, etc. Reply 2. It's different when you say it about a child who is half black. Even if grandma had no racist intent, she put her foot in her mouth big time because her son believes it's racist. This guy is so sure of it, I don't see how she could convince him it wasn't. Response 50A. Her intentions to apologize are most likely true, but your mother needs to understand that she is your daughter. Can I just say, you adopting her at the wedding is the sweetest thing? I love that. Not the a-hole. I hope your mom comes around, NTA, but it may be a good idea to let the dust settle and talk with your mom at least once more before going no contact. And if she chooses not to be grandma for your daughter, then she shouldn't get to be grandma to any of your future kids. NTA. And good for you for standing up for your fiance and your daughter. If you give your mother another chance, as soon as you have a biological child, she will show favoritism. So please really think about that before you decide. Response 19, NTA. I don't agree that your mother is necessarily racist for her comment, but your daughter will absolutely feel slighted by her attitude should you and your wife have another child, one that is biologically yours. I think you're doing the right thing to protect your family from her attitude. Not sure how this will affect her grandfather and other relations on your side, but best of luck going forward and good show on keeping your daughter safe and loved. Response 20. Like others say, race is an added issue, but as an adult adoptee, there are too many people who really buy into the blood lineage bit. My aunt met me exactly once, according to Dad. As to her, I was not his real daughter, and it was such a shame he married a woman who was unable to give him real children, and the family name wouldn't be passed down as Dad was the only son. With my family, race didn't come into it, just not being a blood relative.